Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah. So this is gonna be the first video on this channel. I'll let you know right now, this channel isn't anything, you know, specific. I'm just gonna be doing, sporadic stuff here and there, doing whatever I really want. And this may be the only couple of videos that I ever do. But I kind of really wanted to make a little series because I'm planning to make a sweet little table out of a old like wire spool, a little wooden wire spool. This was came off of a job site I was working on. It held some old Cat 6 low volt cable. There's actually two sides to it. It's held together like this, and essentially I'm looking to probably sand some pieces down here, fill in these holes, this gap right here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this gap. It's a pretty large gap, and I don't know if I'm going to take out this metal grommet or not either. It's something we'll look into. This piece though, this little oval piece, I'm planning to keep because, as you see, I decided to draw a little circle right here, if you can see that, kind of centered on that oval piece. This will be, it's an awfully drawn circle, but this will be for my wireless charger. So essentially the wire will come in through the bottom here, right, on the bottom, come up, hit the wireless charger, and I'm still not too positive on how exactly, if I want to mount the wireless charger or if I want to just keep it to where it's just sitting on top. You just have a way to access it and be pretty, sweet. My original idea was I was going to cut this section out and inset a wireless charger, but I think I'm going to scrap that idea because I don't think it'll be feasible enough. So basically what the series is going to be about is just me doing that. Honestly, I'm going to go through kind of, this is kind of a learning curve for me too. I know a little bit about woodworking, but not a ton. It's something that I want to get into. I've got the tools to do it. It's just doing it, that's the hard part. But I'll take you through, just some materials, my step-by-step process of what I'm going to do. And yeah, I mean, put some legs on here, make it look all sweet. And we're not gonna paint this. We'll probably sand it down, put a nice varnish on it. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So the first thing really I need to do is buy all of the material for this little project here. And essentially the first things I'm gonna need is some sort of wood filler to fill in each one of these holes. That's what I'm gonna try at first, at least, because this isn't very thick. And I think what I'll do is probably put like a piece of paper on the back and fill the wood in. Same with this. This will be a lot easier because it's not all the way through. I think it'll be a fairly easy task, honestly. The next thing I'm going to look for is some sort of varnish to kind of clean up. Well, we'll sand all this down. Take the sticker off. All these markings and stuff that look like really bad. And then we'll varnish it over, just paint it on, basically, and make it nice and good looking. And then we'll probably have to look for some sort of leg option, which I'm thinking there's a couple different options that I've seen. We could either do a single base that comes up, or a like a tri stand type thing, which which is pretty common for a, circular tables like these. So yeah, I'll be taking a trip to Home Depot or Lowe's here, and that'll be the next step. Okay, so this is what I'll be starting off with, some stainable wood filler. This will be used in those, cracks and crevices that I've talked about. And the stain, this is the color I'm going for. I'm not too positive if this is the color I want. I'm going to attempt it on this board first, the one that's got the do not use on it. We're just gonna try a quick little filling, and then I'm gonna stain it over on this little hole right here. So I can see what it looks like before I try it on my finished product over here. We just got staining brush and just a little putty knife here in order to apply the wood filler. So that's the next step. Okay, so for this time lapse, I'm just gonna explain how I'm using the filler and what I'm doing throughout to kind of use this stuff, because I've personally never used wood filler before. Like I said, I'm kind of new to the whole woodworking process. I've done a little bit here and there. I know how to cut wood and stuff like that, but this kind of stuff is kind of out of my territory. So I'm just gonna kind of explain, as a newbie myself, what I'm doing. I'll tell you right now that the wood filler is super easy to use, and it's actually like a lot easier than I thought it would be. It's pretty malleable, and you don't have to really try that hard to get it into where you want it and how you want it and what you want it to look like. Right here, I'm kind of lining up the edges throughout each, on all of my edges, just so I don't get all of that extra stuff all over the board, just so when I go to sand it, I don't have to sand it all down. It's all done for me. It's nice and clean, and it looks good. I'm also putting on each edge a little, or in each crevice there, I'm putting a little extra, so it's not completely even with the wood, so that again when I go to sand it down, I have a little bit of play, and I can sand a little bit more down of that wood filler in order to line up everything that I want to line up. As you just saw, I put a piece of paper under the wood itself, and this was just to protect the the surface. I didn't realize that I should probably have something under this when I'm doing this stuff. So if you do plan to use this stuff, keep those surfaces nice and nice and clean, because it can kind of get all over the place. Currently right here I'm getting a couple pieces of tape, and I'm taping the back with I'm taping the back to put some pieces of paper behind all 4 of the holes. And the reason I'm doing that is so that the filler is, when I put the filler into the hole, it won't lose its form while it's drying, so that and it's even on the other side. Of course, when it's all dry and it's all said and done, I'll take the piece of paper off, and we'll have to go back over each one and put some filler on the other side, so it it looks all uniform and clean. And I will have to say the holes were probably a lot more difficult than the actual other edges and in the crevices itself, just because it's hard to get the form you want, and keep the wood filler from sinking all the way down, and also getting that compact look. You got to get it all in there. So that was kind of difficult, but again, all I'm doing is just keeping everything nice and clean and just making it look good. Okay, so this is the not finished product, of course, with the filler, but we gotta let it dry. This says it's going to take about 2 hours to dry, so we're gonna let it do that. But hopefully it'll turn out okay. There is a section on this piece of wood right here, as you can see. It's a little bumpy, So what I did here was I went a little bit over on this section and tried to make kind of like a hill in order to alleviate, you know, hopefully some of that that part where it's not even. This is what it'll look like for now. It'll be about 2 hours to dry, and then we will sand it. That will be the next step. So I'm gonna end this video here. You know, this first video, I'm just gonna kind of show you. It's officially dried. I think it's been about 2.5 hours. If it hasn't, you know, that's okay. I'm still gonna let it dry overnight before I, you know, go to sand this down. But I think it looks fairly well. Everything is pretty nice and hard, and it's actually pretty smooth already. I'm gonna take off this piece of paper in the back, see what we got, you know, just to make sure everything kind of looks okay. Looks like what I want it to look like. Okay, yeah. So it's not perfect, but this is kind of what I was looking for. We've got these pieces that, you know, the paper kind of stopped it from being, you know, getting all over in the back and stuff. And it actually did a pretty nice job of filling in the holes, better than I thought it would, to be honest. This one and this one look like they'll probably need a little work, and probably this one too, but, you know, to be honest, it won't be very much, so we can just sand that down, and I'll do that off camera. I'll fill these in, and then I'll come back with the sanding and varnishing part in the next video. So hopefully it all goes well. We'll see, right? All right, well, that's it for me. See ya.